about custody battles, and because of time, we were unable to deal with so many issues. But we're here early today. Let's pick up from where we stopped here last week.
Okay. I was talking about the considerations of the court in
Yes.
awarding. So I think we should just
Custody.
do a quick
Yes,
recap of
recap.
what we talked about.
Mhm.
Okay, so last week we talked about the considerations, and I also remember talking about that when it comes to custody issues, the court is not gender sensitive to either of the parent.
Mhm.
So it is not true that women naturally get custody of their children.
Mm.
But in most cases, women get custody, and it's mostly because of biological reasons, especially for children who are in their tender years.
Okay.
However, it's not sacrosanct.
Okay.
It's not because you are a woman and the child is underaged. It necessarily translates to you getting custody. But in most cases, because the mothers are always the primary carers of the children, they attend school events, extracurricular events, hospitals. They help with the homework. We help with. So if the overriding consideration in any situation in the court is always the interest of the child.
Okay.
But it is considered in the light of other consideration. So regardless of if you are the mother or the father, it's evidence-based. And no two custody issues are the same.
Oh.
Because facts are always never the same.
So I can say in the case of Stretch versus Olamide 2015, I'd like to put it to you, your honor, that this is the same case.
It can't be. The principle might be the same. It might be similar.
Okay.
But it might never be the same.
Okay.
So, and because there's a lot of discretion on the part of the judge or the magistrate to consider the matter. So there's a lot of judicial discretion. So you need to bring in your evidence. It's evidence-based. The court needs to see the fact and determine who would serve the interest of the child
most
better. And part of what is considered is the stability of the child.
Okay.
And the stability in this instance, psychological stability, educational stability, emotional stability, physical stability of the child. So in any custody matter, child time is of essence. You have to pursue it rigorously and in a timely fashion.
What do you mean by timely fashion? It has to be done in a year?
Quickly. Okay, so take for instance that two people who they're fighting for custody.
Yeah.
And you are allowed 3-4 years to go by, and you're just waking up to say, I want custody of my child. Don't forget, the child is already in school. The child is already has formed a life with the other partner.
So that will be against you. That will read against you if you want. It won't. I mean, like the judge
that
could
can
say,
tilt it.
okay.
Except you now come in on a very how do I call it? You have to show that
Reason.
notwithstanding that the child has been living with the other partner, it is not in the best interest of the child. The child might be subject to abuse, psychological, physical, educational abuse, irrespective of the fact that the child has formed a stable life in that partner's place, probably school and all that. It doesn't mean that the child is receiving the best education.
Okay.
So these are the reasons that you now have to prefer to the court that can now shift tilt in your favor. But in the absence of any compelling reason, the child will remain.
Because
but
the time that has
because of
elapsed.
the time frame, yes. So, but what you would get, except you are an unfit parent, what you would get is
Shared
likely of a
Shared
joint custody.
Okay.
What constitutes unfit? What makes a parent unfit?
Okay. First, there are a lot of instances, but first amongst them is the conduct of that parent. Probably a drug addict.
Okay, mental issues.
Alcoholism.
Yes, abusing the child. Neglect.
History of abuse.
Yes, neglect, abandonment, and all of this. So if you can prove that the other party, regardless of the time intervention, that the other party is not fit, then you would get you will get custody,
So-
and the other party will get access, unless it is inimical to the health and safety of that child to give the other party. That is the only reason why any court would deny the other party access to the child.
Sorry, what I want to ask is this: most of these things you've mentioned, are they provable? For instance, how do I prove someone is an abuser? How do I prove someone is an alcoholic? Are they provable in court?
Well, there are always instances of something happening, and before you come to court and prove it, something would have happened.
Yeah.
Something would have happened. It doesn't necessarily mean that circumstantial evidence,
Okay.
but something teachers, neighbors, family members, there are a whole lot of people that
We'll
can
get into it to make.
So one way or the other, and even the child, sometimes if the child is grown enough, if he has that mental capacity to be able to, though the court is very wary of bringing the children into any dispute with their parents.
Yeah.
They don't want to make it to put children in a situation where they have to pick
Okay.
Between the parents, yeah.
But if there's a need for it, then that's where the intervention of the welfare services will come in. So they do an evaluation of the child independent of both parents. And the court in most instances will rely on that.
Are the children ever called in to testify?
They will not testify. They are just evaluated.
Okay.
They can be a therapist, welfare, officers from the MISD, and that's the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development.
Okay.
So they will just evaluate the children, listen to them, then their wishes.
Make their derivation from.
But the court is also very, very circumspect when it comes to relying on the wishes of children.
Yeah, because there's a natural tilt already.
Yes, sometimes the children might not even want to stay with a particular parent because of the discipline.
I see.
Do you understand? So
I see.
it's very contentious, but heavily evidence-based.
Yeah.
So that comes to where you talk about how do you prove.
Yeah.
So it's so you have to bring the pieces together if you want to build a case. It's not something that you just wake up one day and just arrive in court and think. It's not handed over to you, halakat.
I'm gonna talk about someone I know, but I just want to paint a scenario. So one of the reasons why she left her husband was that he abused her. He married her when she was pretty young, nice girl, but he hit her every opportunity. Now, the only one time she decided to fight back was when he locked her out of the house. And then, of course, she was ready at that point to leave, so she packed all her things. But then, if it came down to a custody battle, they have one son. And she thinks that it would be her son will be in a better position to live with her, being that his father is abusive. But how does she prove? Because now they're separated. She's not living with him. Before, it would be her he would hit, because she would say, I'd rather you hit me than you hit my son. You understand?
Okay.
So what do you do in that case?
Okay. So I always advise people, and I'm not gender sensitive here.
Because even men are abused, yes.
Yes. When there's an issue or a history or anything concerning domestic violence, I think you should call in the police so that it is documented. Then you also seek the intervention of the domestic, for people in Lagos, the intervention of the domestic sexual violence response agency. So they intervene and they document it. So with that will constitute a very good evidence in court against the other parents, showing a history of abuse. And that can definitely tilt the decision of the court in respect of the parent who wants the custody. So it's very important. In as much as we're culturally, they say you shouldn't call the police, but I think you should.
And I've heard people say that the police said to them, "This is a family matter. Madam, go and
settle with your husband.
Settle with your husband. What's all this? Why you bring us inside this thing? I beg." And half the time, the police takes the side of the man. So it's
Okay, let me
It's a dicey
respond to
one.
that. No,
Yes.
that was then.
Okay.
But now, especially with the advent of the Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Agency, they used to be a unit,
Mm-hmm.
but now they're
In the
full-
police.
No, under the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
But
In
now,
Lagos.
yes,
Okay.
they're a full-blown agency.
Okay.
And Lola Vival Adeniyi
Okay.
is the head of she's doing a very good work. The entire team.
Okay.
They're very responsive. So it used to be, and they're working directly with the police. And they're doing a lot of trainings and retraining and a lot of trainings. And there's even a unit in most of the police station which is dedicated to women, gender unit,
Yeah.
where all these kind of issues are treated.
Okay.
So they are there now and they are being trained. So it's not in all police station, but if you approach the domestic violence unit and sexual violence unit, they will definitely direct you to the next police station.
So don't believe in the past.
No.
Maybe in the past you could be in that maze, but right now,
Yes,
according to
they are
our
doing a lot in
there's
that
a lot
regard.
being done now. I've been hearing adverts on radio, people talking about how the Lagos State government is doing quite
There's
a
a
lot
lot of intervention.
to
And
do that.
I was going to quickly talk about third-party custody.
Uh-huh. Grandparents.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is very possible for a third party to get custody.
Wow.
But in most cases, you have to prove that both parents are unfit.
Wow.
They may both be abusing the child. They may not have the mental capacity or financial capacity to cater for the child. One of them or both of them might be in jail or unavailable. So there are quite a number of circumstances why the courts will award third-party custodial rights.
This reason seem not. I mean, it's not
Tenable
tenable.
enough. How do you mean?
For instance, you in a situation because I in a situation where there is a truce of where both parents are looking for the first person to blink. There's money, there's this, there's that, and a grandparent comes and says, "Can I relieve this?"
I didn't get that. Can you?
For instance, now the circumstance you created, both parents are not fit.
I said both parents are unfit.
Yeah, can that
Stretch.
be?
They can be drug users. They can be abusing the children. They can be neglecting the children. They can abandon them.
But
So
then
these are what
that has to be so.
constitutes that.
Yes. So again, it has to take
Chances
a
of
family
that.
who's willing to put it out there, because you see, in
Yeah.
this part, we cover up a
We
lot
don't
of
come
things.
out and say
We don't even. I know a family where the mother of the children has a mental health, problem, but they'd rather keep it quiet because
But
the
you-
children are always she lives with the children, and once in a while she snaps at them, and sometimes it can
Okay.
get crazy. So
okay, I was going to say that there's this kind of degree to mental instability.
Okay.
Some people have unsound mind. Some people are mentally deranged. So it depends.
on the level.
If probably depression, even with depression, I think the children should be removed.
Okay.
Because depression can lead to a lot of instances. So I think that is it's not in the interest of the children.
Yeah.
You're not being judgmental of the parents in that instance, but it is not safe for the children to live in that environment.
Mine is
So
just
they
the
should be removed.
probability of this
yes,
someone
because the
who-
burden of proof has to be on
probability,
whoever.
who's going to come.
And
out.
leave that one now. Let's go to court now. Are you lawyers?
Sorry, don't be angry. Don't be angry. Might be-
Because
Do you want us to conduct the case in the court?
It's
no,
what I'm saying.
no.
Because nobody will come and say, yes, I am mentally deranged.
And they will do evaluation now. That's what I'm saying. They're not just going to say, "Oh yes." It's based on evidence.
And the evaluation on the children too. There are going to be deductions from those
teachers
evaluations.
will speak and all of that. They're quite. But a third party, for a grandmother to say,
Come out and say, I want to take, there must
Yeah.
be a reason.
Something has to be really
they
wrong.
check in the bodies of the children. Some
Scars
of them
and
is
all.
very apparent. Even when you speak to the children, you see fear in them and all of that. So it's not just
Yeah.
of the asking. You have to prove.
Yeah.
And a lot of circumstances will support that.
All right. Well, we want to hear from you, Lagos. I've seen my phone lines blinking before now. People have questions, but we want you to join the conversation. We're talking about custody battles and, of course, how you can prove certain things in court. She said to us, You want to do the court
Are you
case
lawyer?
here? We're reading law next week. What's all this?
Fast. This insult has to end.
Yes, we're going to prove to you that we can be lawyers.
Beyond reasonable
That's my
doubt.
job, to pull the evidence together and present it to the court.
We too, we can put evidence.
We'll put off your
We
mic
do
now.
investigative journalism.
We'll turn off your mic now.
0700 993 993 993 993. That's the number for you to call. 0700 993 993 993. You can also join the conversation by, if you are a lady, 01465 7190. That's 01465 7190. Send us a WhatsApp message. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info 99.3, and we're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info. Let's go. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos? Please turn off your radio.
Hello, good morning.
What's up, Lagos?
Lagos?
What's your name?
My name is Abimbola.
All right, Bimbo, go ahead.
I want to speak with the lawyer.
She's right here.
Hello?
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Hello, good morning. I want to commend you. You're doing a great job, a very good job. A lot of women are in this situation. They are just stuck. They don't even know. Some of them are afraid to come out of it. Some of them are afraid to speak out. But with this liberation you're doing, I think that a lot of women that are in abusive relationship will be able to come out, even those ones that don't even have where to fall back on. You're doing a very good job. Well done.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Abimbola, for calling.
Thank you.
Chibere Google here on Facebook Live says, wow, this guest is beautiful and intelligent. Okay.
Why do you think I'm here? All right, so let's go on.
Gorimapa.
Okay. Don't forget, you can send us WhatsApp messages. We'd like to hear from you. If you have questions, you have comments. If you are actually in a custody battle, or you won, or maybe you lost a custody battle, we'd like to hear from you. Okay. All right. So join the conversation. 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. We're live. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info Nigeria Info FM 99.3, and of course we are live on YouTube at Nigeria Info FM. All right.
All right, we'll go on a short break, but I need a lawyer who's telling us to read law to help us.
Gorimapa.
Yes. God. My speech is almost gone. All right, so let me just say this before there are things where the cultural state, there are things that we don't bring to the law courts. There are things that because of the culture, because of how we are, when people come to court to argue these things and fight these things, do they go all the way? For instance, somebody wants custody of a child, and you know how, like you said, the grandmother comes and says, I want that child. Are there things that make them come halfway and go back again? Like you see people coming for custody, after some time they don't come again. Does it happen?
I think that's very strange.
People coming up to say, I want custody. This one says, I want custody. And at a point in time, they don't come up again. They let it go. They want to go back home and sort it out.
Okay.
Just hold on. I think we have a call. Let's quickly take that call and then you can answer both. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos? Please turn off your radio.
Good morning.
Good morning. You have 60 seconds. Please turn off your radio.
My name is Isaac.
Your line is very, very, very bad.
Hello.
Sorry, Isaac. Isaac, yes.
Can I speak Yoruba?
Yes, you can.
You can, please.
Yes,
Oh, Isaac, so the problem is that your line is very faulty. If you must speak Yoruba, it needs to be clear so that we can translate it. So please call us back. But we're going on a quick break in about 10 seconds. When we come back, our guest is still here in the studio. You can bring the calls, all right?
This is what goodness tastes like. Golden caramel, creamy buttermint, and rich coffee. There's a Cadbury candy for every moment.
Introducing Cadbury Caramel Candy, Cadbury Coffee, and your favorite Cadbury Buttermint candies. Now there's lots more to share and enjoy.
Oh yeah, there's a Cadbury candy for every moment.
Give your kids Twisco to support their big dreams.
Swisco, power your dream.
Africa is a continent of great people with great ambitions, great dreams, and great minds. Africa's great minds need an intelligent computer that can help them interpret their greatness successfully. No matter where you are in your journey to greatness, the HP 200 G4 all-in-one PC bundle with 10th generation Intel Core i5 processor and 8GB RAM, 256GB memory would help you prepare today for tomorrow's success with its superior capabilities, fast performance, durable battery life, slim and sophisticated design. The HP 200 G4 AI OPC with Intel Core i5 processor generation system makes learning and preparing for success easier and smarter. Start your journey to success today. Buy the HP 200 G4 all-in-one PC bundle with 10th generation Intel Core i5 processor and 8GB RAM, 256GB memory. Available at Konga stores nationwide. Call 070-070-00000 or visit www.konga.com for more information.
There you are, riding in silence, both deep in thought. I bet you the driver thinks this ride have cost more, and you, the passenger, you are sure you are overpaying. Never mind, let's just stay quiet. Or you can both download InDrive and agree on a fair price beforehand. InDrive, people driven. The InDrive online passenger transportation aggregator is not a taxi service. Find more information at www.indrive.com.
You summon the oracle now. Greetings, my king. How can the oracle serve you? You will tell me the secret to your power. How did that keke move without a driver? My secret is the power of 5G. Tell me more about the power of 5G. With hyper-fast internet speeds, low to zero lag and buffering, multiple connections and quality data sharing, 5G will give you amazing things like remote surgeries, self-driving vehicles, find downloads at 2GB per second, smart homes, instant language translation, and so much more. 5G's amazing technology will change the way we experience life and the internet. Get ready to encounter the incredible. And remember, no be juju, now MTN 5G.
Evaporated milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste. So creamy, so good. Cowbell evaporated milk, so creamy, so good. Cowbell,
I want milk. Oh, lunch. Guys, I'm going for lunch. Please, put more stew. Nice meal. My chest.
Suffering from heartburn and indigestion? Try Just Eat. My recommendation for the past 26 years. Just Eat is a brand of aluminium and magnesium hydroxide and simethicone. Just Eat is available in suspension and tablets. Remedy for heartburn, indigestion, flatulence, and acidity.
Just Eat, now available in new packs. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read leaflet inside.
Make you believe we plenty. You said if you enjoy the wonderment of the FIFA World Cup for Qatar with Coca-Cola. Summer any Coca-Cola product we get white cover, check under the counter. You go see simple code, dial star 8014 star 1 star code hash to join. Make yourself get chance jollificate for free. You fit win a with all expense paid trip to the FIFA World Cup for Qatar. Hey! Even 250 million naira gidigba airtime also dey to win. Instanta. Terms and conditions dey sha. Coca-Cola na the official partner of the FIFA World Cup. Na FCCPC approve this promo.
Zumbo, why you going looking like you want to beat somebody? See me see trouble. Abeg, see wetin I order. See wetin dem deliver give me. E resemble, and I don't pay online. Chai, now why I like to buy on Jumia? I feel return waiting I buy for free within 7 days after it has been delivered to me. And you tell me before, now Jumia go dey buy from now. But first, that's in apparel. Now me and you today. Zumbo. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes with free returns when you shop on Jumia. Terms and conditions apply. Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Enjoy the creamy coffee taste of Cowbell coffee. Round the clock, it's really delicious. Taste it and you will love it. Cowbell coffee. Taste the creamy side of coffee.
Today is a good day. A good day to take a walk. A good day to reach for your goals. A good day to finish reading that book. A good day to connect with your friends while doing the things you love. A good day to shoot your shot. A good day to enjoy life to the fullest with Malta Guinness.
Malta Guinness. Enjoy a world of good.
My name na Ekele and na accessories I dey sell. Whether na earring o, belt, even cufflinks dem, e full my shop na. But people no go buy wetin dem no dey see na. Abi, to you, I just dey flood your timeline. To me my phone na my shop, my Airtel data na my rent.
The important things in life are powered by data. Dial *141# to choose any data plan that works for you.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Imagine you have the perfect life. Power, fame, wealth, respect, and of course, love. The men want to be you, and the ladies can't get enough of you. Now, imagine it came at a cost that was too much to bear. This is Saro's story. Watch Anikolapo on Netflix. Nollywood is home.
Give your kids Twisco to support their big dreams.
Twisco, power your dream.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
When it matters most, turn on your choice for the best of sports,
Manchester United 3, AFC Bournemouth 1.
news, and great conversations.
Spain has never changed anybody. It has only hardened people. Please let them ban it completely.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's What's Up Lagos, baby. Get set.
What's up, Lagos?
What's up, Lagos? Yes, and we have been talking about custody battles, especially in separation or divorces, and what must be done, how the law works around it, and of course where the burden of proof lies. And our lawyer girl is in the studio. Every Thursday she comes here to give us, certain information and insight into things that apply to family life, and that's why she's a family lawyer and also a real estate lawyer. Olamide Onifade is still here in the studio with us. Olamide, good morning once again.
Thank you.
Before we go back to the question before the break, someone wrote in this. It is a difficult place to be because getting separated from my dad at the age of 5 actually dealt a psychological blow on me. But I'm fine now. Welfare people, no try at all. They should have found a way to reconcile my mom and dad now. Muideen. So like I asked before we went on that break, when people come daggers drawn, they want to kill each other over something. So does it ever happen that you find out that you guys are on your own as per the lawyers who are trying to fix this case, and you find out that the case has either been fixed or gone to another level, or everybody's mute?
Okay, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no court that takes delight in separating children or families. So it is embedded in the judicial system that there's a place for negotiation, mediation.
Okay.
So especially when it borders on children. So the starting point is always, can you people find a middle ground? The judge or the magistrate is always sending the parties for reconciliation and mediation. And I always support that. And I always advise my client that if there's a common ground, if there's a way you can compromise, why don't you? Because the judge who you have brought your case to, who is supposed to decide, does not know your circumstances. It's a third party who is just seated there. She has no emotions that you have. She just goes by the book and rules it. you were talking about evidence and all of that. Somebody might gather more evidence than you, but not necessarily mean the other party, that party, is the best for the child, but because of evidence based. So it is always in the interest of the children and not both parties to explore negotiation, mediation, mediate, and find a common ground. And when that happens, I always say, even if there's no battle, if there's no dispute, I always advise that you still go to court.
Okay.
So that nobody's going to change the goalpost, move the goalpost during the match. So what happened is, if you go to the court and say, okay, this is what we have decided, I always prepare a parenting plan, which caters for everything. You talk about the medical, how the medical issue of the child is resolved, education, what happens in this instance and all that. It caters for all of it. So court registers it, enters it as its own judgment.
Okay.
So both of you become bound by that document.
That judgment.
Yes. So until the child is 18, you go by it. So nobody is coming in to change it during, But if there's nothing to change, somebody will just wake up. It's now be subject to the whims and caprices of both parents.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be because there's a dispute, but just to put everything in white and black and give it the force of law so that nobody changes it.
All right, and there are consequences if you change that.
Of course.
There definitely will be consequences. And
It's the judgment of the court. It's just like, that's contempt, or, no, you can't. Yeah.
Well, we're opening up the phone lines. We want you to join the conversation this morning. 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. And you can call if you're a lady. 01465 7190. Only for the ladies. 01465 7190. You can join the conversation. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info 99.3. And of course, we're live on YouTube at Nigeria Info. We want to hear from you. Drop your comment if you're watching on the live link. And if you are on Twitter, use the hashtag WhatsApp Lagos. It's Nigeria Info FM. And on WhatsApp, we'd like to hear from you. Okay, go ahead and be part of the conversation. The phone lines are open. Let's do this. Hello, good morning. WhatsApp Lagos.
Good morning.
Yes.
Turn off your radio, please.
Yeah, good morning. Can you?
Yes.
But we need you to turn off your radio.
Yeah, my radio is off.
All right, go ahead.
What's up, Lagos?
What's up, Lagos?
What's up?
Yeah, my name is Frank.
Okay, Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, so some time ago, I had this twin from a lady, although I never knew about it until after a year. So I was trying to get to know them, but they were with their mom. So they were staying at Ore, so I had to go to Ore to see them. So I saw the condition they were living in. The lady's parents weren't together, and the children were just crawling all over the place. So I told her to allow me take care of the children. And at the time she didn't agree at first. But later, she later brought the children. I'm not working at that time. She wasn't working at that time. So I had to bring the children back to my own parents. So the children are staying with my parents, and my parents are taking care of them. But someone told me later that, hello, are you there?
We're listening.
Yeah, so someone told me sometime later that I'm just training children for nothing, that when time comes that the lady is going to come and take the children, because I didn't pay any dowry on right price on her head. So when I heard this on the news, I thought to talk to doctor, the lawyer, and if there's any advice she can give me on this.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. So his concerns are valid in this parts of the world where, in some places, I don't know about my place, but in some places, if you impregnate a girl, you're not married to her and whatever, until you pay something on her head, some form of dowry, those children will not be named after you, no matter what you do. But then what does the law say? I'm just saying, because these are traditions. These are things you hear in a daily.
Yes, that is culture, but not anymore.
It's not the law.
No, it's not the law. It's because Family law in Nigeria is just an evolving area of law.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do not know their rights.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you that I've seen cases like that was determined by the court, and the court said it was unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
It was not it's not going to stand.
Mm-hmm.
They are his children, and they both have a right to the children. So if in any case the mother comes back, she can't just come and approach the children. She must come. I referred to that.
Yeah.
Because of the time has passed. So, but the father has a stronger case because he's been with the children since their tender years, and he's done a good job. So
his mother, the mother of the guy.
The mother, yes, that's okay. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Him.
Not him, his parents. So that is where this grandparent may also come in and apply for third-party custody. But I would see that they're supposed to do it in a proper fashion.
Okay.
So far, both parents they do not have the custody of the children.
Yeah.
So far, there's a third party. The proper thing to do is to go to the family court and get the appropriate order. You should not have anybody's child under your care if you do not have an order, whether you're a foster parent or you're a guardian. So they should be getting an order, a guardianship order, or a third-party custody.
Okay, so who has to be present before this? Because the mother is somewhere in Ondo State.
Of course, the mother has to be present.
She has to be there.
Oh, wow.
And the father has to be there.
Yes.
And they'll get a lawyer, a judge.
And even makes it very, and I think they should do it now.
Quickly.
Because there's no dispute now. So she will give in her consent now.
No, because
they
when
shouldn't wait till when
she wants the
yeah.
she wants the children.
Yes.
And that could tilt it when she wants. If there's a dispute, it could tilt it towards her.
No, but it's going to be contentious.
Okay.
But now there's no contention. So why don't you do it now? So everything is told. It's legal. The grandparents have the children legally. And I see people running helter-skelter now. There's a lot of guardianship and relocation order and all of this stuff going on in court now because of the trend of people relocating. So a lot of embassies are now requesting for this legal document. Guardianship, I can't count the number of guardianship I've done and all of this. So you have to, I see grandparents who want to take their children on holiday and they now need it. The embassies are requesting for it. So the court is flooded with, so if you don't need it now, it doesn't mean you wouldn't need it in future.
So it's best to get it now.
Just get it and hold, yes. But culturally, people will just
no be grandma.
Children are my own, kilo day. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos? Oh, sorry about that. If that was you, please call me back. 0700 993 993 993. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos?
What's up, Lagos?
What's up, Lagos?
Yes, what's up?
What's up? Good morning.
Morning. My name is Afoluke.
Okay.
So this couple, one of them is actually my cousin. The guy is my cousin. They've been here in the world. They've been in a turbulent marriage. Everybody knows turbulent marriage. They have 2 kids. One of the situations they had maybe an argument or something. The man left the house and the woman all of a sudden carried the 2 kids and ran away to a different state. She actually went to River State with the 2 kids. The man came back and he has not seen his children ever since then. What advice would you give to this kind of people? The lady doesn't want to come back to the marriage, claiming issues of violence and all of that. But everybody knows, yes, she has her issues. The man also has maybe temper issues as well, right? So what kind of advice now? Because he's not willing to give up his children. And she has taken the children without his knowledge. She ran away in the evening with the children without his consent up until now. So what kind of advice, please, would you give for the man and, to be able to have his children back or something?
All right. Thank you very much. Very interesting question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Still, but that's what I said. Time. He must act very, very fast. Okay. And he should be approaching the family court in River State. And I'm sure the court will resolve it. If they can't mediate and find a common ground on how the man, will have access to his children or joint custody, then the family court would resolve it.
But
he has to do it in a timely
But can he press charges for abduction also?
Can Can you adopt?
Because she vanished.
No. There's no
because
kidnap
she's
in this issue.
Really?
They were having a turbulent marriage, and she left the marriage with her.
She could have left without the children. I'm just saying.
She can't. Somebody has to care for the children, and she did that. And most mothers are the primary carers of their children.
I see.
So there's no parental kidnapping in this. And even if there is, it's a very dicey one to come out and say a father,
a mother kidnapped.
Except in a very criminal fashion. Probably you involve third parties, storm into the school, kidnap the children. But either of them have the right. They all both have parental rights, and I can exercise my rights.
Please turn off your radio. Good morning. What's up, Lagos?
Yeah, what's up, Lagos?
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning,
yeah,
sir.
this is Philip calling from Oshodi.
Go ahead, Philip.
Yeah, so I want to ask the lawyer in the house. Actually, it happens to me. I got married recently. That was 2018, and we had 2 kids. She just gave birth last year. I mean this year, May this year. So we're having our own share of the problems. Normal problems, which probably she felt she wasn't really comfortable again, and she left. I went to work. She left that day. In the morning I came back and she wasn't there. So at the end of the day now, she's trying to not make me, come closer to my kids. Like, she's in the parents' house, and the parents, are even in support of her being there in their house, But the thing now is, though I don't have any intention of taking them now, because my baby, the last one is still a few months old, and my daughter is 3 years now. So, but do I have? I did every necessary thing I need to do on a lady. I married her properly. So, but the way the things are going now is like they are trying to push me out of even my daughter sometimes she doesn't really. Recently, last I saw her, the way she comes close to me is not the way she's coming anymore. Like, she doesn't really, that attachment is not there anymore.
So you feel alienated.
Yeah, exactly. Even my son, he doesn't even really know me now, because I've not been there. Okay. But I do send. I take care of them properly. She goes to do everything. Okay. So now, I have an intention of picking them up in the future, probably when they are a little bit of age, So, but is it the right way to go? Because the way they are doing it, if I'm going to go legally, I don't think I'll get those kids.
Okay, let's allow the lawyer tell us exactly. It's a very serious
the first
case.
thing he said, the last thing rather, was that he has intention of taking the children in the future. And my question is why? If the mother is doing a good job, why? What I think he should be asking for right now is joint custody.
Yeah, but his concern is he feels that the family is trying to make the children not know him, and that's why he's expressing his concern.
Joint custody
will solve it. He should be approaching the family court for joint custody.
So taking the children away doesn't solve anything.
No, why would you want to take them away? But both of them must exercise their parental rights on the children.
So what does he do legally to
to go to the court
now?
Yes, as soon as possible. So the court will definitely, even if the court can't give him a substantial custodial right, he's going to get adequate and ample time with his children access. He's going to get contact orders. He must see them. But the one that is few months old, because of he's not weaned, he might not be able to take the child overnight. But probably the one of the 3-year-old, he might take for weekends and all that. And he must have exercises right, and that's the legal custody aspect of it. That's the element of the legal custody. He must have take a decision in the life of his children. School, medical, and all that. That's the legal part.
He says he's doing that right now.
Yeah,
he says he's taking care of that.
Having the authority
to do it.
Yes.
Oh.
So there, last week I talked about 2 elements of custody. Custody doesn't just include physical custody. There's physical element of it, and there's the legal element of it.
Okay.
The legal one is who takes decision when
On
it comes to the education, the authority, the very crucial decisions in the life of the children. Then who has a physical control of the children, physical care. So in this case, he should be approaching the family court, where I'm very sure that he would get access to the children.
Okay.
That's what
and
you should
legal
do right
custody.
now.
Legal custody. So I hope you heard her and you do the right thing. But Olamide, quickly, because we have to go. We're out of time. On social media, where can we find you?
Okay. It's Olamide _lady_lawyer.
Olamide _lady_lawyer.
All right. Well, we will go for a quick break because we need to wrap things up this morning. My name is Mary Anakun. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, MIMIEYO. I always love having these court, related conversations. Love it. Love it. Love Thursdays.
Take me to court. All right. My name is Stretch, STRETTH. See me on Instagram, Stretch Original. On Twitter, Stretch Cool. And we will take that break. When we come back, Infogirl will do something before we sign up. But right now, we are signing off.
For Olamide, thank you so much for coming. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
We are going to prove to you that we can have law degrees.
I'll do PhD law.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll take it to Lagos, to Lagos.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not